Welcome to this lecture video. In this video, I am going to explain semiconductor laser and applications of laser, which comes under module 4 of engineering physics prescribed by BTU. Here I am going to discuss the following points, that is semiconductor laser or gallium arsenide laser, applications of laser. So now let us concentrate on what is semiconductor laser. So this is the schematic diagram of semiconductor laser. It is made out of single crystal of gallium arsenide as shown in the picture. So now I am going to give you the construction part of semiconductor laser. So the gallium arsenide laser diode is a single crystal of gallium arsenide and consists of heavily doped N and P sections. The N section is derived by doping gallium arsenide with tellurium, and the P section is derived by doping gallium arsenide with zinc. Here a pair of parallel planes of the crystal is polished at right angles to the PN layer. These planes play the role of reflecting mirror. The other two sides are perpendicular to the junction are roughened to suppress reflections of the photons. So this is what going to happen here. Now I am going to explain how it works. The gallium arsenide laser diode is subjected to a forward biased using a DC source. Electrons from the N section and holes from the P section flow across the junction. An active region is formed where the electrons and holes recombine and emit photons. This is equivalent to spontaneous emission. Under normal conditions, the concentration of electrons in the valence band is greater than that in the conduction band. Thus, population inversion is not possible. If the current flowing through the diode exceeds a certain threshold value, then the amount of electrons jumping from the valence band to the conduction band is great enough for population inversion to be achieved. Spontaneous emission takes place and a photon will be released due to recombination. This photon interacts with an electron in the conduction band, resulting in a stimulated emission which gives rise to a required laser action. Here, the energy gap of semiconductor laser diode is observed to be 1.4 electron volts. So the wavelength of photon released will be 8400 angstrom. So this will be calculated using the formula Eg is equal to hc by lambda, where h is Planck's constant, c is velocity of light. So by substituting the value of energy gap in the formula, it is possible to calculate the wavelength of photon released from the diode. This is what about the that is the working of laser diode, and here is a band diagram and N and P sections are clearly observed, and there is a depletion region between N and P sections where the jumping of electrons takes place from conduction band to the valence band, and the difference in energy will be emitted in the form of a photon. So this is what going to happen in case of semiconductor laser diode. Now let us concentrate on applications of lasers. So here I am going to explain industrial applications. So here laser cutting, laser welding and laser drilling. So that is an industrial application part of laser, and lasers were all used in defense and also used in computers for storing data. First let us concentrate on industrial applications of laser. So in industry we are going to make use of laser for welding metals. So lasers are used for welding metals by virtue of its ability to focus large power in a small region. In laser welding, the laser beam is focused to the spot to be welded by means of a lens, and a very high temperature is generated at the spot by virtue of its high intensity. Due to the heat, the metal used for welding is melted and a strong homogeneous joint will be formed. This is the schematic diagram of laser welding. That's what you can see in this picture. Now the another application is laser cutting. A laser beam assisted by a jet of gas is used for cutting materials or metals. The laser beam is surrounded by a nozzle into which oxygen gas is fed. The gas helps in combustion and also assists by blowing out the molten metal. The flowing action increases the depth and also the speed of cutting. The cutting accuracy is well controlled in this case. Next, the laser drilling. The drilling of holes is achieved by subjecting the metal to powerful light pulses of the order of 10 to the power of -4 to 10 to the power of -3 second duration. The intense heat generated over a short duration by pulses evaporates the material, leaving a hole. A very small dimensional holes can be formed by making use of this technique. Here CO2 laser is used for drilling. And the another application is laser range finder. Laser range finder. So it will be used in defense and also used to detect distant objects. So in defense, it is important to have accurate data about the distance of the enemy target. The laser rangefinders are the best suited equipments to serve this purpose. A high powered pulsed laser beam is directed towards the enemy target from a transmitter. A part of the reflected beam is received as a signal by a receiver. The rangefinder high-speed clock measures the exact time from the instant the pulses left the unit until they returned, and then converts it into a distance. So a accurate distance will be measured by making use of this equipment. Lasers in data storage. In a compact disk, series of microscopic holes known as pits are formed. Laser light reflected from the disk is detected by photodiodes. The amount of light received by the diode varies according to the presence or absence of the pits. So this is the schematic diagram of a CD on which pits were all formed that you can look at. So in a CD, ones and zeros are recorded in the form of pits along a spiral track on a plastic material with a metal coating. The total length of the track would be around 6 km here. Any transition from pit to land or land to pit is read as 1, while the region completely in the land or pit is read as 0. The separation between the tracks is observed to be 1.6 micrometer in case of CD and 1.1 micrometer in case of DVD, that is digital video disc. The reflected beams reaches photodetector and it will be processed. So this is what the application of laser in case of CDs. Now I am going to give you some problems. A 5-watt pulsed laser emits light of wavelength 694 nanometer. If the duration of each pulse is 20 nanoseconds, calculate the number of photons emitted per pulse. So here the value of P is given as, that is the power of the pulsed laser is 5 watts and wavelength is 694 nanometer and time duration is 20 nanoseconds and velocity of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second and Planck's constant is 6.63 into 10 to the power of -34 joule second. And we know that E is equal to N into Sc by lambda or N is equal to P into T lambda by Sc. So here we have to substitute the value of P, T, lambda, H and C. So on simplification, the value of N calculated will be 3.489 into 10 to the power of 11 photons per pulse. So this is what the solution for this problem. The second problem is the average pulse, that is the average power output of a laser beam of wavelength 6500 angstrom is 10 milliwatts. Find the number of photons emitted per second by the laser source. So here power is given, that is 10 milliwatts. Duration of time is 1 second. Velocity of light is given, Planck's constant is given, and the wavelength lambda of laser beam is 6500 angstrom. And we know that the energy of emitted photon E is equal to nhc by lambda. Therefore, the number of photons emitted per second is given by n is equal to lambda pt by hc. So substitute the value of lambda, p and t and Planck's constant and velocity of light. On simplification, we are going to get n is equal to 3.268 into 10 to the power of 16 photons per meter cube. So this is what the solution for this problem. Thank you.